Hey, it's Chris, doing something a little bit different today. Today's video is gonna be a CarPlay video because it's been a while and the beta has some new CarPlay features, but I'm gonna get out of the studio, obviously, and you guys are gonna get a little bit of behind the scenes kind of stuff as I get this set up. I do have all my camera gear with me, several tripods, and a bunch of cameras in here so that I can actually get this all filmed. The next stop's gonna be Starbucks, where I'm gonna order a nice cold Nitro cold brew with a little extra ice because it is so hot. Then I'm gonna go find a nice shady spot where hopefully I can film this without melting. Okay, just tell me real quick, who else can relate to this? You know? Yeah, hey, can I get a grande Nitro with a little bit of ice?
Yeah, grande Nitro with a little bit of ice. Anything else for you?
No, that's cool. So as I'm sitting here in line waiting for my Nitro, I just gotta say, CarPlay is one of the most underrated aspects of the Apple ecosystem. It's definitely something that I use basically on a daily basis. And it's one of those things that I definitely wouldn't want to be without. You know what I mean? So even though it seems like they're few and far between, I'm always excited when there's new updates to CarPlay. And it's not like the updates I'm about to show you are enormous, but they do affect the user experience and make it a little bit better. All right, so I found what I think is a nice shady place to hopefully film this without melting. It took me this long to get here in terms of Nitro, which was about 12 minutes. But if we're talking about CarPlay, some people might be wondering, well, how do you update CarPlay in the first place? Like, what gives it these new features? Well, really, it has to do with iOS. So with iOS 14, and I'm using the developer beta right now, version 2, that's when you see these new features, when you update your iPhone, basically, to the next operating system. So already you guys might notice something different. That's because there's a different background, right? And we got some different backgrounds with the last version of iOS and CarPlay. We got a light and a dark mode for the first time, which was nice. It's nice to have some variety, but now you can see Apple's carried over the wallpaper that's the default wallpaper on your iPhone over to CarPlay, which is nice. It's nice to have some visual variety, but it's not just one new wallpaper. We actually get 5 new wallpapers, which each have a light and a dark mode. All right, so I don't know if you guys remember this, but Apple recently gave us a settings app right in CarPlay. So this is where you gotta go if you wanna check out the different wallpapers. And right here, you can see wallpaper and boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your new wallpaper selection. Of course, we still have just black or a black and kind of a dark mode that changes throughout the day depending on what time it is, which we already had in the last version of the update. So let's just test these out and see which one looks the best. I mean, here's the default, and you can see what that looks like. Here's the second one, which is kind of a green and blue. And honestly, I like this. It pops a little bit more. This might be my favorite, I'm guessing. We got this kind of gray, which is really kind of monochromatic, and that's not bad either, honestly. That even makes your icons pop a little bit more. And what is this? Kind of like a gold, I guess? That's not my favorite, but I can see how people out there could like it. And finally, more of like a red. And maybe some people are gonna pick just based on the preference. Some people, I guess now you can kind of color match it to your car. You know, if you have a Ferrari, this would be the background for you. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it with this one though. I like that a lot, all right? That looks good. Something else that's new but that I can't demo today are some new icons that are coming to the latest version of CarPlay. But basically, you know, like for EV parking and stuff like that, those are some of your new icons that you're gonna see. As a side note, does it drive anybody else nuts to see all the dust on their CarPlay screen? I mean, I try to keep it fairly dust-free, but you can't keep it all off. And I'm not OCD or anything, but the dust, it just like, it builds up and it sits there and it nags. All right, so there's some other features that are coming to CarPlay that aren't necessarily CarPlay exclusive features, right? But they have more to do with iOS and they kind of carry over into CarPlay. And a lot of those features are gonna have to do with Apple Maps, which has seen a decent amount of improvement lately. So one of the updates that we're getting as Apple Maps users is the ability to see red light cameras at stoplights. So maybe your local government is not gonna like that because we're making less money, but I think you and I will both like that feature, right? I know I'm going to. If you're somebody who has an EV, and actually if you have a Tesla, then you don't have CarPlay, so you probably should be watching this video. But if you have an EV and you need to know where to park, then that's one of the new features in Apple Maps. It's gonna give you all the different charging locations. And also that feature is a little bit smart too, so it knows what kind of an EV that you have, and then it will only show you compatible chargers along your actual route. Something else that's new is Siri. It's got a new interface, and that only makes sense because it has a new interface in iOS as well. So check this out. Best coffee in New York City. So you can see...
The best rated option I found is Sweet Scene on 34th Avenue in Newark, which averages 5.0 stars.
All right, 5.0 stars. That's a lot of good ratings. What's the weather like in Los Angeles?
It's currently clear and 82 degrees in Los Angeles, California. Temperatures are heading down from 82 degrees to 68 tonight.
So one thing that you can see is that the Siri interface doesn't take over the whole screen, and it's just sleeker, slicker, gets out of the way. It's better. It looks better too. It's not just a matter of getting out of the way. I actually like the way that it looks. Play my Catch This Wave playlist.
Catch This Wave, now playing.
Wow. It's Wave, Siri. One thing that's new in the beta that's kind of cool is that you can now send a voice message, not just a text message that's a transcription of what you said, but your actual voice. You can send a voice message using Siri while you're driving. So it's something like this. Send Biz Test Phone a voice message.
Okay, recording.
Hey, it's Chris, and right now I'm recording a CarPlay video on a super hot day, but at least I've got a ton of nitro here, and I found a little bit of shade.
Great. Send it to Biz Test Phone.
Yes.
Okay, it's sent.
So there you go. I sent a voice message, and that was cool, and that was something that I couldn't do before. Something else that you can do that's related to your voice is that you can now send your ETA. Now, this is in conjunction with Maps, and you could technically send your ETA before from Maps, but now Siri can do it for you. Send my ETA to Biz Test Phone.
Who would you like to share it with?
Biz Test Phone.
Sorry, I missed what you said. Who would you like to share it with?
Biz Test Phone.
Sorry, I couldn't understand what you said.
You guys saw Biz Test Phone. It just worked a minute ago, but Siri's having trouble understanding it. Oh, let's try this one more time. Send my ETA to Business Test Phone.
Sharing your ETA using Maps will also share the name and email address for your Apple ID. Is that okay?
Yes.
To share your ETA, first start driving directions in Apple Maps.
So there you go. That's what that looks like. I'm not going anywhere right now. I'm just sitting here enjoying some nitro, making a video, trying not to melt, but that's how it would work. One thing I like about that feature is that once you've got it shared, that will show up in Maps, and then you can turn that off at any time, which is kind of nice. Of course, something else that's new that's coming to CarPlay that I haven't talked a lot about on this channel is the new car key feature, which is gonna let you use your iPhone as a car key, basically. It will let you lock and unlock and start your vehicle. But of course, it's only coming to, I think, one model of BMW at first, you know, so it's not gonna be widely available to all cars, but it's something that's gonna be rolling out in the future. All right, so that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you did, let me know. This is sort of a different style. And you know what? We could do more videos like this. If you guys like to see Chris getting around out of the studio. And yes, of course, I do don the mask. If you're wondering what mask this is, you guys have been seeing the shirt, you've been seeing the mask. This is from Social Club Misfits, one of my favorite rap groups. And so I'll link that up down below. I know some people have been enjoying the multicam angles from the content lately, and some people haven't. But either way, I'm really in the midst of this move. And so I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me as things have been kind of crazy, and it hasn't been just normal content and studio time. But that's why, there's a good reason. And of course, don't forget, you guys can catch up with me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at DailyTech, spelled daily, T-E-K-K, in both of those places. And I'll catch you in the next video. Later. There comes a time when every video, like this Nitro, must come to an end.